Hey everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds, and today we are going to talk about haul number 42. Yay! Exciting stuff. I got some exciting stuff to show you, and I think what I'm going to do this week is do a bonus video. I think I said I might do that a week or two ago, but I have enough stuff now to actually sit here and record 3 videos. So I may actually do that in the next couple days and get caught up so that I have all that great excitement, because when I find something, I'm usually really excited about it. And then if I wait 2 weeks to tell you about it, the excitement has kind of come down a little bit because I'm excited about the next things. So I want to kind of go back to where we were in the beginning, where I was super excited about every little thing that I was finding. So yeah, so that's an exciting announcement. Exciting announcement number 2. The Blanco I promised you last week. So these are the 2 pieces of Blanco. This is one. This is a crackle glass applied leaf vase. It's amazing. And the other one is the bowl. Now I'm not going to have these in my thumbnail this week because I had them in my thumbnail last week. We talked about the price last week, but I did want to show you up close and personal those 2 beautiful Blanco pieces. One of them, I haven't decided which, will be featured in my glass show coming up on the 8th of September at 7 p.m. And the other one will be in my next glass show after that, which isn't scheduled yet, but hopefully soon thereafter. Okay, next announcement. I think I mentioned somewhere along the way that I might be going to get some paperweights and I'd have a paperweight collection to show you. That didn't happen. Long story. I was on my way there. He sold the paperweights to somebody else. It happens. I'm sad, but it happens. So anyway, let's talk about what sold. Sorry, I moved some things here. So this past week, we had the Fenton Frenzy over on Niknax.net, and I sold some Fenton, which I had been collecting for the Fenton Frenzy. So these are the pieces that I sold. My favorite was this one here, the uranium glass. It just lit up under UV light, like bright green. And during the Fenton Frenzy, I also sold this beautiful Murano paperweight out of my store. So this I had bought for $40 at the Antique Mall in Rhode Island, and it sold for $85. And then the Fenton stuff, I have basically $50.13 into these pieces, and they sold for $175. So pretty exciting, right? Anywho, so that was this week. And then, yeah, so announcements, upcoming shows. I think I mentioned them last week. I've got the Out of the Blue and Into the Deep. So I'm doing mostly fish and shells and underwater things. That is taking place on the 6th of September. It's a Friday, I think. And my spot is really late at night. It's at 10 p.m. It was the only spot I could get, and that's fine. So hopefully I'll be awake and we'll talk about some fish. So now let's get into my haul for this week, haul number 42. So first thing I found, this was on the 16th or 17th. I think it was the 16th actually, and I think I overlapped a little last week. I didn't quite get everything from that time frame. So this is a friendship vase. I believe it is Native American. It is signed here. I don't know who the artist is. The ones that are listed online are listed 32 to 40-ish. I don't see a lot of solds, but I did think it was unique enough and fun enough that I could pick it up. I only paid $2.99 for it, so I thought that was worth picking up. You know, I just hadn't seen anything like it, and I like picking up unique, weird. It's different, not weird. Well, some weird. That's not weird. Anywho, I like picking up things that I've never seen before. Let us move on. We've got a lot to talk about. So I did buy 5 paperweights on Facebook Marketplace. They were advertised as 5 paperweights. There were actually 3 paperweights, 1 ornament and 1 vase. Couldn't tell that from the picture. I gambled a little bit, and then because it turned out the person lived a little further away than I thought, I had to have them shipped to me. So I paid too much. So, oopsie. Because I wanted to include the shipping in it to figure out the cost, each one of them cost me $7.31, which is way too much to pay for this quality of paperweight. These are basically, you know, $10 to $15 weights. These are not the beautiful Murano or, you know, vintage pieces. But let's take a look real quick at the pieces that I got. The first one, whoops, is a ring holder, and it's actually quite nice. It's got a, you know, swirl of blue and green and white. It had a tag on the bottom at some point. I think it was for a department store in the Midwest. I believe this is imported from China. Probably 8 to 12, maybe a little more, maybe 15. I see some that sold, you know, 15-ish. This one will be in one of my paperweight sales. There will be a paperweight sale happening in November. If I can get into that one, that will be in that show. If not, I will do a paperweight show after that. Okay, so the next piece that I got is this vase. Now, there are some listed online as Rosenthal, and then with a tag that says made in Brazil, but those are signed, and this one is not signed. It does have a clear bottom. It does look very similar to the Rosenthal ones, except that you can see across the bottom there, it's not completely straight. It kind of comes down a little bit like a heart. The Rosenthal ones look like they have a clear line across. So I'm not sure where this was made. It is a bud vase. It's got a little slit there. So it's a vase. It's really cute. The signed ones made in Brazil were going 15 to 18. The unsigned ones are going 8 to 12, and those are solds, and there are a lot of solds on this one. So it seems to have a really good sell-through rate. So then the next paperweight, there were 5 of them in the collection. This is a paperweight. It's got a little flower inside. It's decent quality. It is made in China. It's a company called Dynasty Gallery. They're based in California, and they actually do all of their glass. Like, they do the designs in California, and then they actually have the glass made in China to their specifications. And this just says, for collectors around the world, Dynasty Gallery's heirloom collectibles. So this is a Dynasty Gallery weight. They sell 15 to 18 as this. So there's that one. There's this one I'm not sure about. I'm pretty sure this is Chinese as well, but there are some that are attributed to another artist. This one has a tag. It says made in China. So I'm pretty sure it's made in China, even though there's some online that are attributed elsewhere. It's a nice weight. It really is. It does not glow. I did have some other similar paperweights that did glow, but this one does not. And the last piece in the collection was a ornament. It's got a little, it didn't have a string, but it's got a little hole for the string. It's really pretty heart. You know, it spins glass thing. Now, these are attributed to a gentleman named Luke Adams. I did not have time to get information on Luke Adams, but I believe he is a contemporary or since in my lifetime, let's just put it that way, glass artist. So 80s, 90s, or 2000s. He is one that I made a note on here. Who is Luke Adams? Look him up, and I didn't yet. But the rest of the things I did have a chance to get to. But the Luke Adams ornaments are going 15 to 33. Those are solds. They are all over the place. I figure 18 to 24 is probably about what I will get for this. So yeah, So, you know, I mean, overall, I spent too much on the paperweights, but I do think I will get my money back out and probably double my money on that little collection, even with the shipping. Okay, so on to the next. So then I found this stoneware cup. It is stamped with an M at the bottom down here. I have not figured out who that is. I don't know much about this guy either. I paid $1.99 for this. These type of studio pottery mugs sell around 12 to 18, some more, but things that were like this that I saw online were probably around 18-ish. Okay, so yeah, there's that. All right, now that was all the stuff that got us up to when I went and picked up the Blanco. And then on my way home from picking up the Blanco, I stopped at a couple places. So that was after the auction, the 17th of August. So I stopped at a Goodwill. I found the Fenton, I'm gonna grab this. Wait, I found this Fenton compote. It already ran in the Fenton show. It did not sell because unfortunately there is a crack in this baby. I don't know if you all can, you probably can't see it. There's a big, I think it's a crack. It looks like a crack. It doesn't feel like a crack. The glass is very thick. It feels like some sort of weird thing that happened during production, but whatever it is, it brought the value down. So I paid $3.99 for this. Right now I have it listed on Niknax for $8. So I'm hoping to still double my money on it, but I didn't look at it closely enough, as usual. I was so excited to find something that was Fenton, basically, you know, right before the show. So, well, a week before the show. But anyway, there was that. I also found this pink crackle glass pitcher, which I think is really cool. I don't have attribution on it. There's some listings that say Pilgrim. There's some listings that say Kanawa, and nobody's is shaped exactly like this one. So I have to do some more research on this one, but I think I do have a decent idea of the value. I paid $1.99 for it. I think they're probably selling around 12 to 15 for this size pitcher. And I didn't check to see if that glowed, and I don't have my glowy flashlight over here right now. Okay, so then I'm gonna see, well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you my favorite thing. So I found this. Now you may not remember, because it's been a while. Do I have it here? No, I have it somewhere else. I found this mead cup that was, or wine glass, that was this same pattern, like this pressed lace thing, and I couldn't figure out who made it. So when I found this, I was so excited because, now this is a butter dish, and it's studio pottery, and it's got this crazy thing on the back, and I couldn't figure it out. But when I had shot the pictures of the wine glass, I couldn't find anything that matched it online. It was like a one-of-a-kind thing. The butter dish, there was something like, and it led me to the artist. So now I know. So the studio is called Blue Heron Pottery, or Blue Heron Studio. They're in a town called Floyd, Virginia. And the artist her name is Jane Avery, and it's Jayn. I paid $3.99 for this. She sells butter dishes now, different than this, for $50, but there's one that sold on eBay for $31.98, so call it $32. So this was super exciting. It's amazing work. She does stuff by pressing lace into her ceramic to get the really cool design. And it's a very unique style. I mean, it's very noticeable when you see her stuff. It's like, oh, that's that person. So here's what I learned. I was so excited to learn all this stuff. So this is Jane Avery. And you can see this is some of her work. Okay, now this picture was taken in 2009. Okay, so it's 15 years ago. And she said it said her lace impressed slab work pottery has an individual appeal that's both distinctly Appalachian craft and creatively unique. Jane has been making pottery for over 35 years, initially selling at craft shows with her then husband, Bob. She now markets her work online. So she's got an Etsy shop, Blue Heron Pottery. Check it out, y'all. So with the encouragement and help of her daughter, and then she sells at several craft stores and the Taubman Museum. She has a weekly booth at the Roanoke Farmers Market and has been a staple at the New Mountain Mercantile in Floyd, Virginia for years. Now, again, that was 2009. I don't know if that is still up to date. There was an amazing article that I found online. I am obviously not going to read you the whole thing because it is like 4 pages, but some really, really good information. Hang on. There was a place where the interviewer said, can you talk a little bit about your process, your materials, and your style? And she said, okay, my particular style that's unique is that I work with slabs of clay. So it's slab built or a hand building process rather than wheel thrown. And most people are familiar with wheel thrown stuff, wheel thrown pottery, actually it says. So the slab pottery, what got me into it, first of all, was because it was very easy to make something very individualistic. You can go into any kind of shape, but I also love the clothy aspect of clay. And I press lace into the clay to give it texture. And once I sort of discovered that, I found that my sewing skills, which my mother taught me when I was a little girl, were serving me very well because I developed this planter, this vessel where I'm gathering up the clay. And not only does it express the clothiness of the clay, but as far as I know, I'm the only person in the world that does that, which just because I was playing with it and I was using skills I never would have imagined would have been applied to me as a potter. And I love that. And I love being able to tell people that story because that's how, you never know that what you learn as a child, how it's going to apply to your future. And this is a clear example of that. So it's really cool. She goes in to talk more about what she would rather do. And she talked about like, well, if I had my druthers, basically I would be making sculptures and I love herons and I sculpt a lot of herons, but everything that I do, even with this lace stuff and the sculptures, I need to make it useful so people will want it. So she said, I do a lot of vessels and butter dishes and vases and mugs and cups. And again, you can see that on her Etsy shop, Blue Heron Pottery. So here's what I figured out. See that squiggle? That's a heron, y'all. It's a heron. So this was from 01. So this actually is getting really close to vintage. And so the little squiggles inside my, my wine cup, when I looked at it again, it is also a heron. So, mystery solved. I know who made my wine cup, which I'll show you next week because I should have had it here. I don't prepare very well for these. I mean, I prepare very well, but I'm always forgetting things when I sit down to do the video. And since I'm not editing, I'm just running through in one take, I forget a lot of stuff. So anyway, Jane Avery, Blue Heron Pottery, so exciting. So anyway, yeah, that was that. I found the butter dish for $3.99. Again, probably sell around 32-ish. Okay, so then I'm gonna have to speed up a little bit here. I found this Capiz shell angel. This is probably a little more current. I don't know anything about this. I know that there is another reseller that picks up a lot of Capiz shells. I can't talk today. Capiz shell stuff, and I decided I would try to pick up some Capiz shell stuff. So yes, I wrote down where the Capiz shells come from. And of course I can't find that either. There is an island, might be Philippines, where they're used instead of glass, or they have been used instead of glass for many years. And of course it is probably still sitting on my printer. Oh no, here it is, found it. Capiz shells, found in a province in the Philippines. There we go. Found capiz, called capiz. Sorry, guys. Thank you for sticking with me, by the way. Not every day is going to be perfect. These flat, semi-transparent shells with pearlescent appearance are edible. I think the stuff inside is edible, but they're valued more for the shells. Capiz shells have been used for thousands of years as a glass substitute because of their durability and translucence. So we can assume that this is made in the Philippines, potentially. I really don't have much other information about it. I thought it was pretty. I paid $1.99 for this. Probably sell 8 to 12. I also picked up this really cute little raku dish. I thought this was adorable. It's got the 3 birds on it. It is raku fired. It is signed J. Diller, 2005. So this is not considered vintage yet. This is still contemporary, but it's a cute little raku pot. So I picked that up for $3.99. It'll probably sell 15 to 18 on the small raku pottery. I picked up this, and this is all still at the same place, this little sun trinket dish. It is made in, Italy. It says Sienna. Hand painted, cute little trinket dish. So these sell pretty well for me, the trinket dishes. I paid $1.99 for that. It's probably going to go either 8 to 12 or 12 to 15. So let's call it 8 to 15, 12-ish. Okay, and 2 other things at this Goodwill were these 2 horse fever. I picked up one thing that was like Cow Parade a while back, and these are horses, and this one is Breakaway and Celeste. They are from, does it have a year? They don't have a year. They are part of a Florida, sponsored by the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association in Ocala, Florida. And it's a bunch of different collectible painted horses. Okay, so Celeste here sells for 30 to 50, and Breakaway here sells for 20 to 40, although one I saw sold at $99. So the prices again are all over the place. They do sell. And I paid a little more for them, but with the price and the sell-through on those, I thought it made sense. I paid $6.99 each. Those will go up on eBay sometime before Christmas. Okay, then I went to a place called Unique, and that is like the same family as Savers. So Savers Value Village Unique. And the Unique shop is near where I picked up the my auction stuff. So I ran in there. And I don't think there's anything here that's fantastic. So I'm going to show you just really quickly the things. Yeah. So I got this really pretty champagne flute with these little dots. And they only sell 8 to 10. And I only paid $1.24 for it, but I just thought it was really pretty, so I picked that up. Sometimes I pick up things because they speak to me. Also, another reseller has been finding a lot of vintage wooden boxes and picking them up at yard sales and stuff. So I saw this and I loved it, and the price was right. It was $4.97, so it was a little high. But I learned some things about it when I got it home. Number 1, it's not vintage. It is contemporary. Number 2, it's a puzzle box. I was puzzled when I opened it that there were these 2 weird things there, and I couldn't figure it out until I did some reading on the puzzle box. These 2 legs turn, and you can actually lock the puzzle box. Whoops, I did it wrong. Hang on. There we go. So you can get it to a point where it will not open. And then you have to rotate these away so it opens again. So you can see these things have like this little thing here, and it latches and holds it in place. So it's a fun little puzzle box. If you, have a kid that wants to, hide their diary or their jewelry from their little brothers or whatever, it's a fun little box. So I paid $4.97. The ones that are currently being sold are selling at $32. So I think as a resale, it would probably sell for like 12 to 15. But it is fun. It might actually go up to 18. And it's in really good condition. So I do not think that is vintage enough to sell on Niknax. I think that will be an eBay thing when I get around to listing it. I also found a Campbell soup tureen, which I picked up for mostly nostalgia because I'm old. When I was a kid, they used to have Campbell soup commercials on the TV, good, and in the magazines and stuff. So anywho, I paid $2.17 for this. They sell like 6 to 10. They do not sell for much at all. So that was a gamble gone wrong. I picked up this amazing gourd painted as Santa. So this is fun, right? I love my painted gourds. It is signed. It says, "Happy Holidays, Nancy Spanoler. I don't know. And then I think it says 93. It says 93193. So maybe September 31st, 1993. So that makes it vintage, yay. So I'm probably gonna do a gourd show. I haven't decided when, but I've got about 8 gourds at this point, different, maybe 9, different kinds of gourds. I think once I can get to like 15 to 18, I'll put together a gourd show. So that'll be a fun, very niche show. But I don't know. I mean, if I don't try to sell that before Christmas this year, it will go into a gourd show. Okay, then I found this. Now, I thought this was just a really cool cross. And it turns out it is a maypole. And it is a symbol of fertility, but it is Swedish, and this is the colors of the Swedish flag. And it's got flowers, and it's supposed to be for the summer harvest. And, you've heard of in May, people dance around the maypole. And this is a beaded maypole. So it looks like it's hand beaded. I have absolutely no idea if this is something done in a factory or what, but I can't find any like it online, exactly like this one. I found similars, but not the same. So I paid $2.17 for this, and like I said, I can't find anything like it. I see things that are 18 to 24, but they're not beaded. So I really don't have a good value for this one right now. I just think it will be more than $2.17. So I got that, and I picked this one up because it was still before my cat show, and I was going to list that, put this in as one of my cats. It's like a cat and a pig and a bird, and it's Will Ray Studios, made in China. It is resin, but the cat was really cute. And it was in really good shape. So I picked it up. I paid $1.24 for this piece. It's probably about 12 to 18. Some of the Will Ray Studio stuff sells really well. I don't see this particular one, so I just don't have a lot to go on. But we're gonna hold on to that till the next cat show. I've been collecting some other cats, and unless there's some other show that comes up that fits in the theme of. And then I found this really cute art pottery vase pair. Yeah, it's the person who made it. Now I'm going to take the stopper out. It looks like it was made by Jen in '91. She did a beautiful job. And the stopper is like a stem and leaves of a pear. At least that's how it reads to me. So beautiful job, really nice studio piece. I paid $2.78 for that. It'll be at least 8 to 12. I can see this as being something that people really want in one of the auctions, and it could go a little bit higher. but I wouldn't be surprised if it sells right in that 8 to 12 range. But it's a really beautiful piece. So Jen did a great job. Then I went to, different day. Okay, 3 days later, the 20th of August, I went to 2 places after work. The first place I went, I picked up, and I should not have picked up, but I picked up this weird ceramic bird. I don't know if it's a flower frog or if it's some sort of a toothbrush holder, or, well, there's no hole in it, so it's probably not a toothbrush holder. I'm not sure what this is, but it's a bird with holes in its back, and it's cute, but it has some chips and some dings and some other issues. It's not perfect. I paid $1.74 for this weird ceramic bird. I hopefully will get into the Weirdos show that will be in October, and this is perfect for that. So hopefully between now and then I can figure out what it is, and yeah, we'll have that there. And then this is another highlight of the week. Do you remember, you may not remember, a while back I found a Claudine Buell metal fish sculpture, and one of its fins was bent, like one of the little pieces of metal was bent, and I sold it for $25. I don't remember what I spent for it. It was probably between $3 and $7. Well, guess what? I found the exact same fish, but it's not the exact same fish because it's not bent. So it is a different version. It actually feels like it's a little bit bigger, potentially, I'm not sure. But similar, but different. Claudine Buell signed. This one doesn't have a sticker on it. The last one I had a sticker with her contact information on the bottom. No issues on this guy. It's fantastic. And this one I spent $2.99 for. Like I said, the last one I sold for $25. This one is in better condition, so it may sell a little bit more than that. Her stuff typically sells $28 to $65. So hopefully this one will do better. But this was, yeah, one of the big finds of the week. It was pretty exciting. So I was like, oh my gosh, Claudine Buell, I know her. So that's where I don't have a lot of information on the artist. Like, there's no information online other than about her sculptures, and that she and her family moved to an island off Massachusetts in 1993, and then nothing. So I just really don't have a lot to tell you about her. Did I say North Carolina? Moved to an island off North Carolina. I don't know what I said before. I think I said the wrong state. Anywho, okay, then last stop, and we're almost done for this week. I found brass pineapple trivet. I pick up most of the brass that I see. This was $3.49. They only sell like 8 to 12. Some are showing a little bit higher. But the brass is moving quickly. It's one of those things you put it in your store and it's gone. So at least on eBay. That one will go on eBay at some point. I know I keep saying things are going on eBay, and I literally haven't had time to list things on eBay. So I feel bad saying it, but it will happen at some point. Last piece of the day. Beautiful, beautiful piece of glass. It is signed at the bottom. It's blown glass. You can see the pontil at the bottom, and it's signed down there, and it's signed APG. APG is Almost Perfect Glass Studio, and they're in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And this was a fun one to learn about. They have been around for a long time, and it's owned by a gentleman named Andy, I'm going to mess this up, Magdanz, Magdanz, and his wife, Susan Shapiro Magdanz. And they have a glass studio that trains other people, but also now the one in Cambridge is kind of like they have their working artists there that create all different kinds of glass stuff and lamp work and like jewelry stuff and blown glass and whatnot. But they do classes and they teach people, how to blow glass, and you can, pay and do like, make your own glass thing. And then Andy and his wife moved to Martha's Vineyard, and they opened a studio there. I can't remember the name. Martha's Vineyard Glassworks. There it is. I found the name. And that was 1992. So they own the two places. And they have a group of people working at both. And this is Andy last year. This is not actually doing glass stuff, but anywho, so the Martha's Vineyard Glassworks, it basically says, with extensive careers in glass, it's long been their passion to share their knowledge and love of the material with the community around them. They're seasonal residents of the island. Well, that explains that. Okay, so they're there in the summer, then they're at the other one in the winter. Seasonal residents of the island, Andy and Susan wanted to build a space to not only create their own work, but to assist other artists in exploring glass, as well as educate the community in this traditional craft. So the thing that I found really interesting, and this is Andy in the middle. So this was when one of the maestros from Murano visited. They're really good friends, and visited Andy in his studio. So David Fuin from Murano stopped in. So this is David here. That's Andy there, and the other gentleman, I can't really tell. So 86 weeks ago, so year and a half ago. Year and 3/4 ago. And the other thing that I thought was really cool at the bottom, it says liked by Masota Glass. So I follow Melissa Masota. She's a current glass artist out on the West Coast, and I have a couple of her pieces. And I thought it was really cool that she's connected with Almost Perfect Glass, Andy Magdans. So I'm learning more about the contemporary glass world, and I'm enjoying learning that because I really do love contemporary glass. I think this is probably older. I think it's probably from the 90s, but I don't know for sure. I really don't know for sure. It's like Glass Eye Studio on the West Coast, where people are just signing at Glass Eye Studio, and it's, a revolving door of glass artisans that are learning their craft, and they're making things before they are big enough to be putting their own name on things. And I think with APG, it's probably the same. So I don't know who specifically made this piece, but I know it was made in Massachusetts. So anyway, that is our exciting finds for this week. I'm going to try to get another video done soon, and hopefully, like I said, have a bonus video this week, fingers crossed, and then the other video next weekend, and we'll be all caught up, hopefully. And yeah, so please please subscribe. Like I said, they can't all be, I can't have a, spectacular find every week, but I'm always finding something fun, and I'm always learning new things. And I don't want to spoil things, but I found some things that I'm really, really excited to show you in the next couple of videos. And then we'll be caught up so that I won't have to tease excitement going forward. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody, and we will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Please, oh, you know what? Totals. I always forget the totals. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. So my total spend this week was $101.24. Potential on this, conservatively, on this collection of things, not counting the 2 Blanco things, because I counted them last week, was $410. So it's almost 4 times exactly. I'd like to try to get 6 to 10 times. So I really need to get better on the buy side of things. But we're getting there. So anyway, thank you again. Please please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.